You see they're dry. You see there's no marrow in the bone. You see they're scattered all over the valley. They ain't even full skeletons. I mean, the bones are scattered all over the valley. They're just bones. But answer me a question, Ezekiel. Can these bones live? Ezekiel answers the only way he knows how to answer. Lord, you know. Critical race theory was born out of critical legal theory. Am I teaching y'all something today? There emerged two common beliefs linking all critical race theories. First, white supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's just a fact. How in the world are you going to fight against that being taught in any school? White supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's a fact. Why don't you want that to be taught in school? You let your schools teach us that Columbus discovered America. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that George Washington couldn't tell a lie. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that some slave owners were beneficent and good slave owners. There were no good slave owners. Anybody who owned people was evil. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that Abraham Lincoln was good for Negroes. No, Abraham Lincoln was trying to save the Union. And Abe Lincoln himself said if he could save the Union and keep black people in chains, he would do it. That's a lie. Come on, somebody. You let them teach us about a white Jesus. You let them teach us that Native Americans were the aggressors. Come on, somebody. That white folk had a manifest destiny and that the pilgrims were good and Native Americans. That's a lie. All day, every day, you let them teach us lies. All throughout my history in school, I was taught lies. But you got a problem with critical race theory because it teaches the truth that white supremacy has subordinated black people and people of color. The right to bear arms. Let me just back up a little bit and let me take you on back to the late 1960s when Ronald Reagan was the governor of California. And they were oppressing black folk, and a group of men and women known as the Black Panther Party decided that they were going to defend the rights of black folk. And the Black Panthers decided that the Second Amendment wasn't just for white folk. So they strapped themselves with guns and showed up at the Capitol in California. And when they saw them Negroes with guns, come on, somebody. That's why I say if you ever really want to get gun laws changed, just strap all these Negroes up. They'll change them laws before the week is over. When the Black Panthers, watch this, I want you to read, the California legislator passed what was called the Mulford Act. It was a gun control act that decided who could get guns, who couldn't get guns, what could be in your background, what couldn't be in your background. It was the first time in history that the National Rifle Association, the NRA, supported restrictive gun legislation, all because black folk had the nerve to get strapped. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, go get strapped. Amen, somebody. Y'all gonna say Bishop told us to get strapped. I said it. Go get strapped. It just got real quiet up in here. But y'all already know I'm a triple P. Amen. Y'all know what a triple P is, right? A pistol packing preacher. Amen, somebody. responsibility to help somebody else make it across. Thank you, Jesus. Don't pull up the ladder because you climbed to the top. Don't blow up the bridge because you made your way across. Thank you, Jesus. But reach your hand back down the ladder and pull somebody else up out of Lodabar. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. That's the name of the Lord. Somebody got to tell themselves, it's all right if you got it now. Just hold it for me. I'll be there to get it after a while. Oh, bless the name of the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. You've got to make up in your mind that what God has for me, it is for me. I might not have it right now. May not get it next week. You might try to stop me from getting it. But if God said it's mine, I want you to know after a while, I'm going to get what belongs to me. Sometimes God got to strip what you got so you don't depend on yourself. He got to take away from you. What's happening, y'all, on social media? Special program this morning, y'all. Tell somebody I'm on the air. Yeah. Thank you, Jesus. Our young people are dying. Cracked out. Suicide. Homicide. They'll kill you at the drop of a dime. Our jails are full. Yet the crime still runs rampant. Sometimes God got to strip what you got so you don't depend on yourself. Thank you, Jesus. Hey, I don't have no $100,000 year thoughts, $200,000. I got $1,000,000 thoughts, baby. You better think, because the Bible said, as a man think. The reason we ain't is because what we think we are. 90.7 WTCC. Good morning and welcome to the Spoken Word. I'm your host, Bishop Talbert Swan II. And as usual, we'll be telling it like it is through cultural idioms and nuances that shape the order, ethos, and chaos of the African-American experience. Words have their own vitality. They shape their own consciousness and create their own context for interpreting social and spiritual reality. The spoken word contains the power to reshape the landscape of society. It is 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes. Bishop Swan, you're on. 6 minutes past the hour of 9 a.m. I want to thank Mr. Kenneth Barnett for bringing us up until the 9 o'clock hour with the promise
You can hear The Promise every Monday morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., bringing you the very best in gospel music. Good way to start out your Monday morning, a great way to start out your week. Got some stuff to talk about today. If you've been following the news, I can't even get into the Texas stuff that just happened on Saturday because I hadn't had the opportunity since the murder of Jordan Neely to talk to you all. Um, was out of town at a funeral on Friday. In any case, it was a modern day lynching, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to play some excerpts from my sermon yesterday. I preached a sermon titled after the landmark book by Dr. James Cone entitled The Cross and the Lynching Tree. And I'm going to play a few excerpts from that sermon that'll kind of set up this conversation, because people think that lynching is, is an outdated mode of terror from the Klan, back in the 50s and 60s and the 40s, and it doesn't happen in modern day, but it does. And what happened to Jordan Neely was a modern day lynching done in plain sight, done right out there in front of everybody. And yet, the man guilty of murdering him, he's chilling this morning. He's free. He had Sunday dinner with his family and all that stuff. So we got to talk about it. We got to we got to deal with it, and then some point during the program, I'm debuting a project, a song by Brothers United here in the field, in the 413 in Springfield, Massachusetts. So stay tuned. It's going to be lit. It's really going to be lit. Y'all calling in already. Good morning, caller. Yes, you're on the air.
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing?
I'm good. Brother, you're gonna have to call back in because your phone, I don't know what's up with your connection, but we can barely hear you. So get in a good spot. And after the break, give us a call back. 413-736-2781. Jump into Twitter space. Tell a friend, tell somebody. The Bishop is on the air right now. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment. Rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you are chiming in from, what part of the Pioneer Valley or of the world that you're coming in from. Yeah, we're going to go deep. Put on your scuba gear. Tell somebody Bishop is on the air. Don't y'all go nowhere. We'll be right back.
The essence of life is growth, but the essence of growth is change. The being in the road would be the end of the road if you refuse to change. Reach a little higher, reach a little higher, dig a little deeper, dig a little deeper, go a little further, go a little further. Come on, come on, come on. Reach a little higher, come on, yeah. Dig a little deeper, dig a little deeper, go a little further, go a little further. Come on, but don't stop. The essence of life is growth, but the essence of growth change. Your life will never change until you get disgusted with where you are. Whatever you don't hate is what you tolerate. You must learn from the past, plan for the future, and live for today. For it is your daily routine that determines your success or failure in life. It's the choices that you have made up to this point that will determine the rest of your life. So break the cycle that doing enough is simply good enough. You only get out what you put in, so don't settle for the crumbs when you can have a whole loaf. So push yourself beyond your limitations. Come on. Reach a little higher, reach a little higher, dig a little deeper, dig a little deeper, go a little further. Don't stop, don't stop. Come on, reach a little higher, reach a little higher, dig a little deeper, dig a little deeper, go a little further, go a little further. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. So you gotta break the routine of trying to beat the system. Manipulators will always try to bypass the process for the quick progress. There are no shortcuts to success. There are no elevators to the top. You got to take it one step at a time. You got to break the routine of allowing others to get into your head and control who you are and where you're going. You see, when you're about the positive, you're going to always have haters. But don't let your haters push you down. Let your haters push you forward to the next level. So when people show you who they really are, don't perceive them to be something else that they're not. See, a zebra does not change his stripes. So you got to keep pushing yourself to the next level. Yeah, there you go. Come on. Get a little deeper. Come on. Yeah. Go a little further. Go a little further. Don't stop. Come on. Don't stop. Come on. Yeah. Reach a little higher. Reach a little higher. Get a little deeper. Dig a little deeper. Go a little further. Go a little further. Don't stop. Come on. Come on. Come on. You got to understand the greatness is the nature that you were born out of. You'll never discover your greatness without hard work and dedication. Greatness says more about who you are and what you expect for yourself. And greatness will always attract greatness. Show me your friends and I'll show you the future. The future. You're just a step away. You're just a step away. You're just a step away. Don't ever give up. Come on. You're just a step away. You're almost there. Come on. You got to push yourself beyond your limitations. You see, there's no mountain too high, no valley too low. You can go where you want to go. It's all in the power of your imagination. If you can see the invisible, you can do the impossible. So stretch yourself. Take yourself to the next level. Come on, come on, come on. Reach a little higher. Get a little deeper. Go a little further. Come on, come on, come on. Don't stop, come on. Reach a little higher. Dig a little deeper. Go a little further. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Come on, yeah. Come on.
There's a blessing waiting on you.
Come on. Blessings.
All right, come on, y'all on social media. Like, share.
Go a little further.
Let's get it.
Don't stop.
You got to reach.
Don't stop until you get your dream. Don't stop. Get your dream. Until you get your
Don't
dream.
stop.
Don't stop until you get your dream. Don't stop. Get your dream. Come on. Yeah. Don't stop. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go for the goal. Come on. You gotta go for the goal. You gotta go for the goal. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Don't stop. Don't stop.
I look in the mirror and I like what I see. A strong, beautiful black woman staring back at me. One who's seen a lot of pain and had.
All right, y'all, let's go. Rep your city, rep your town.
For a brighter tomorrow. I've been lied to, cheated on, stolen from, and hit, but it just made me stronger.
And I refuse to quit.
That's right. And though I've been tempted, I refuse to stoop to their level. I rose above that nonsense and made a liar of the devil. All right now. The devil who said I wasn't good enough, cute enough,
Or worthy of love. I kicked his butt with divine power from above.
Power that says I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me, and brought me out of darkness so that I could see that I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I'm a child of the King. Abundant love for me, he came to bring.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. When I look in the mirror, I love what I see. She's looking good. That strong, beautiful black woman, that woman is me.
90.7. I don't know why I'm singing that. 90.7 WTCC, Good morning. Welcome, 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 everybody in the Pioneer Valley and beyond. And of course, we always have folk that are beyond the Pioneer Valley by the beauty and the wonder of the world of Al Gore's. Well, it ain't Al Gore's no more. It's Beyonce's World Wide Web. um, um, so do me a favor, rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you're chiming in from. Let me see who we got in here. I see Cornwall, New York, up in the building. I see Virginia Beach, Virginia up here. I see Springfield, Massachusetts, of course, up in here. New York City, Worcester, Massachusetts, Birmingham, Alabama. H Town is in the house. Ludlow is in the house. Toronto, Canada is in the house. Ethiopia, that's a whole country, but thank you for being here from the motherland. Appreciate you. Quebec is up in here. Union, New Jersey is in the building. Now, I can never pronounce that one that begins with a P. Penn or something, New Jersey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lafayette, Louisiana. Louisiana is in the house. I see my baby girl. Good morning, Whit. Here's my grandbabies from Chicago is in the house. Houston in the house again. Houston in the house again, man. Houston be up in here. Houston always shows me much love. Rock Island, Illinois is in the building. Where y'all at? Instagram. Providence, Rhode Island in the building. Chicago in the building. Waltham, Massachusetts is in the building. Virginia Beach is in the building. Good morning to everybody who's in the building from wherever you're in the building from. Good to be with you. Tell a friend, tell somebody the bishop is on the air right now. We're talking about Jordan Neely. Phoenix is in here. Ow, frat. That's my frat brother, Earl Newton. Good morning. Who was murdered on a New York City subway. Let me set this up, and I'm going to play some excerpts from my sermon yesterday. And then after I play those excerpts, we'll open up the phone lines. And before the show is over, there is, listen, I'm telling you, there is a special presentation that we are going to have with great significance for the people here in the field. That's what we call Springfield, Massachusetts. Special significance for them, but really for everybody, because this song is universal in scope. It really is universal in scope in terms of the significance of it. But Brothers United, a group of brothers who came together here in the field, did a song, and I'm going to see if I can get a couple people on the line a little later on in the program when we get to that particular point. But I'm going to debut that special song, and you all tell somebody about it, because you want to hear this. It is a powerful song about unity, about our community, about the trials and tribulations we go through as a people, and about how we need to stand strong in unity. But let's get this clip on from yesterday's sermon about Jordan Neely. The sermon was titled from one of my heroes that I was introduced to when I went to seminary. When I first went to seminary, I got a degree, a master's from Hartford Seminary, but then I went on to Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary and got my Master of Divinity, and then went on to do my doctoral studies elsewhere. But when I was at Hartford Seminary, I had a professor who was an AME pastor. He pastored Bethel AME Church in Windsor, Connecticut. Went on to become a presiding elder and pastored the Bethel AME Church in Boston. He is now retired. But Dr. Alvin Johnson, who made an indelible imprint on my life as a professor and as a mentor, he introduced me to a book in one of his classes, written by James Cone. It was entitled "God of the Oppressed," and that's, those of you who know me know that's my motto. That any authentic theology must affirm that God is on the side of the oppressed. He introduced me to liberation theology, and that revolutionized my ministry and changed my life. One of the books by Dr. James Cone is entitled "The Cross and the Lynching Tree." And that was the title of my sermon. It was based off of the title of that book. Take a listen, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Many times we ignorantly assign human tragedy and things that happen in the world to God when it had nothing to do with God. It had to do with the fact that God has allowed us through his permissive will to have free will. And so when someone chokes somebody to death on the subway, that was not God's will. Go on and preach, preacher. And I want to address in this sermon what the cross, as the central symbol of Christianity, implies for the way Christians are to respond in a lynching culture where black bodies are brutalized and murdered, and the law is used to justify it. Over the past 6 days, we have seen so-called Christians who were justifying the murder of a man on the basis of his past arrest record, which flies in the face of the faith that they claim to preach. Because according to the faith that they claim to preach, Jesus died for our sins so that whatever we have done in the past could be forgiven, and God would cast it into the sea of forgetfulness, and that we would be justified. Come on, somebody. And what does justified mean? Well, I'm going to give you a quick way to understand justified. It means just as if I'd never done wrong. Come on, somebody. So if you really believe in salvation, there's no way you can be saved and saying because he had been arrested over 40 times for minor things because of his homeless situation that he deserved to die. Because if doing wrong makes someone deserving of death, then all of us ought to be dead. So I rebuke every one of you so-called Christians trying to use someone's past to justify their brutalization and their murder. Let's be clear. The murder of Jordan Neely on a New York subway was a modern day lynching. When we turn to the cross of Jesus and we juxtapose it against the backdrop of extrajudicial murder, we must point out that Jesus's crucifixion amounted to a first century lynching. You had a black man who was falsely accused, arrested, tried in a kangaroo court. He was convicted and sentenced to death. Jesus' crucifixion was a first century Roman lynching. See, it is only in recognizing Jesus' crucifixion as a lynching that we can appreciate its significance in a war of racialized violence against black bodies. See, lynching is one of the most heinous weapons of white supremacist culture. Whether the weapon of choice is a rope, a cotton gin, such as what was tied around Emmett Till's neck when he was thrown in the river, chains at the end of a car like James Byrd, who was dragged along a Texas road, or a gun or a chokehold on a subway, it's a lynching just the same. Lynching is about power standing its ground against anyone it deems as a threat. It is meant to be a deadly reminder to a suspect community of their proper place in society. That if you don't stay in your place, this might happen to you. It's about the protection of Anglo-Saxon white supremacy. It attempts to safeguard the wages of whiteness. This was most evident in the lynching of Emmett Till, who the last person who could have been held accountable for his lynching recently died. And even though the system knew that she lied, because she admitted that she lied, both lied about Emmett Till harassing her, which caused him to be lynched, and then lied on the witness stand to protect her husband and her brother-in-law who murdered him. The general refused to file any charges, and then the Department of Justice of the United States of America refused to file any charges because they thought that she was too old. But yet and still, America has a policy of extraditing Nazi war criminals back to Europe so that they could face trial for what happened in the Holocaust. I wonder how it is that America thinks old white people ought to be extradited back to Europe so that they could face trial for the Holocaust, but old white people who lynch black people right here in the United States should not be held accountable for their crimes. How is it that white murderers get their virtues extolled, but black victims get demonized so that you can justify their murder? How is it that Brother Daniel Penny, the ex-Marine who murdered Jordan Neely, when first of all, the media tried to hide his identity, but we found out who the hell he was. Y'all have to excuse me today. We found out his name. Say my name, say my name. And then the media said he's an ex-Marine. He received commendations. And I'm wondering, why y'all talking so good about a murderer? But Jordan, he was arrested. He was homeless. He was harassing folk. Why do you feel the need you have to demonize a dead man who wasn't a threat when he was alive, but he sure ain't no threat now that he's laying on a slab in the coroner's office, but they yet have to demonize us even when we are dead.
90.7 WTCC. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Those were some excerpts. You can go to our church's Facebook page and you can find the entire video, the entire sermon that I preached on yesterday, entitled The Cross and the Lynching Tree. But those were some important excerpts from it that I thought you needed to hear. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. You?
You know what? There was even some of the passengers that was on the train, right? And what they were saying, right? He wasn't bothering about it. He was talking. He was saying things. He talking about he wanted to die. He wanted to do this. But they said he was no threat. So how can they justify, of this man being killed? This ain't really bothering me. But they've been doing this.
Yeah. And there was, if you watch the video closely, there's a gentleman on the video telling him, you need to let him go because you can kill him. He said, he says specifically, you don't want to catch a murder rap. And here's the thing. Right. And here's the thing. We watched that horrific video of George Floyd with that cop on his neck for 9 minutes. This man was choked for 15 minutes. Imagine 6 minutes beyond what we saw with George Floyd happening with this man. It was a lynching. It was a modern day lynching. Absolutely. Thank you for your call.
Like I said, let it be on the other side of black men doing that shit.
Oh man, please. He would have already. Yeah, man, he would have been under the jail. He would have been gone by now. No way in the world would we be sitting here a week later, because it's a week now, a week later with him still walking free. No way in the world. Thank you for your call. 413-736-2781. ODB in the Twitter space. ODB, you got the microphone. Give you the microphone first so you can bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach. Okay, let me stop because y'all gonna think y'all super saints gonna think I backslid. ODB, unmute your microphone. For those who,
yeah, what's happening, Bishop? How you doing?
I'm good. How you feel?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother.
Okay, so I'm gonna just make a short sweep. So I think the term that we need to look at when we start looking at these modern day lynchings is ethnocentrism.
Mm-hmm.
I believe everybody got the ability to be ethnocentric. I think Black people we're ethnocentric as well when we look at the cultures. And ethnocentrism is simply looking at other cultures outside of your own as odd, weird. But the problem is with these white people's ethnocentrism and implicit biases, they don't get held accountable when it causes harm to other people.
There you go.
So when you have a native New Yorker that is dying by the hands of somebody that's not from New York, that seems to be the bigger problem, because in my neighborhood on the east side of Columbus, Ohio, we have a man called Odie, who's a special needs person, been going through some stuff, has mental illness. He walks around our neighborhood. But if someone outside of our neighborhood came and
Mhm.
Odie stopped and talked to him, and maybe they said something weird or they didn't know Odie and they choked him to death,
Mhm.
that would literally hurt our neighborhood, because he's a member of the neighborhood, like the same way I'm a member of the neighborhood. He graduated high school with me.
Now, what
You know,
you're
things
talking
like that. So
about,
we don't look at these people in the same type of ways. They look at the people of our community with their ethnocentrism when they gentrify our neighborhood.
well, what you're
So I just wanted
talking
to bring
about,
that point up of this is why they're lynching us. They're going to places that they have no business being. You should in no type of way should this white Marine be on the A train disturbing this young man in his own neighborhood. So
well, what you're saying,
right there with that.
what you're saying, brother, thank you for that. That reminds me, we had a gentleman here in my city, and those from the 413 who are listening will know what I'm talking about. We called him Preacher Man, not Preacher Man Burgess, who you're going to hear from in a minute in song. But he was a gentleman who had some mental health issues. He suffered through some homelessness, some substance abuse issues, but he was harmless. We all knew him. He would walk into the barber shops. We would see him throughout the community all of the time. He was a staple in our community. As a matter of fact, when he died, the newspapers wrote about him, and there's a mural in the Black neighborhood of Preacher Man. And who could have been someone just like a Jordan Neely, had some white guy from out of town came through and saw him as a threat, when the entire community knew that Preacher Man wasn't a threat to anybody. You're absolutely correct, and those points are absolutely well taken. Let me get HB up in here. HB, you got the microphone, brother. Good morning to you. The rest of you can call in 413-736-2781, 413-736-2781 if you want to chime in on the conversation about this modern day lynching of Jordan Neely. And let's call it what it is, okay? HB, you there, my brother? Good morning, unmute.
Good morning, Bishop. Good morning, family. I'm walking outside. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Real quick, you know, this stuff been going on forever. They've been they've been able to lynch us forever.
Mhm.
Well, first of all, why is this guy not even charged with anything?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we wouldn't even get a second to walk out on the street to let them sort this out. We wouldn't even get one quick second.
Oh no. When they if that was you, when the police questioned you, you would have never left the police station.
Yeah.
You would have left there to go to wherever they were going to hold you.
And that's why they put us in so much fear, because white folk truly not going to understand how we feel about certain situations until it start happening to them consistently.
Yeah.
On a consistent basis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why it's important. You got all these people sitting up here but there is no justification for this man's death. And if it had happened to a white, even if it had happened at the hands of another white folk will be all over it. White folk go out of their way to justify every single nationally recorded death that's at the hands of anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
And these are your same coworkers who are going to sit up there and smile in your face, knowing that y'all not going to have these personal conversations. These are the ones that's going to continue to pacify you as friends. And so that's why I say it's very important to separate, because they really do not give a damn about your life.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
no reason for this brother to be dead. There's no justification for this man to be dead.
None.
We all get annoyed by people, but I can't just go out and kill nobody.
Exactly. Oh man, I had a guy come to my church trying to pull the church doors down, and then he was harassing and belligerent and all of that. And so I called for some help. You know, he had some mental health issues, and we got him some help. I wasn't going to put him in a chokehold and kill him. Just crazy. Thank you, brother. I appreciate your call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, I just wanted to speak on the situation with Jordan Neely. I'm very versed in mental health and different things with the criminal justice system, but we keep saying they justify it, just like Trayvon Martin getting to fight back against stranger danger. But I admire the bishop for doing this, because I feel like if we keep saying that they find reasons to kill us, we need to do something. The churches need to get together so that we can help the mental health, so we can help the youth. Because this young man, he was mentally ill. When you're mentally ill, you're confused. You get triggered by certain things. And although we see, I work in D.C., I'm on the train all the time. I see this behavior every day. My son is struggling through it. He was a junior prime prince. He's psychotic now because he was drugged from he was abused, abandoned from his dad and his peers. But this ain't about me, but it's about us as a community. We are the biggest consumers. Let's stop talking about how they don't care about us and care about each other first. And then we can show them as a unit, we are together. We're going to fight for each other. We're going to put money towards illegal defense funds and people unjustly incarcerated. We're going to put funds towards people.
Sister, you talking good right now, because that reminded me when Kyle Rittenhouse, that 17-year-old white supremacist who came across state lines with his AR-15 and murdered 2 people. The white Christian evangelicals raised $2 million to defend him. Through GoFundMe, $2 million. They said, no, we're not going to let nothing happen to this white supremacist. We're going to protect our own. And they raised $2 million.
Not surprised. And that's what I mean. I work for the U.S. Department of Justice 23 years. And, I speak up, I say things, however, they're in the business of justice, but, they have this thing called the downward departure from the sentencing guidelines. And when we had paper, I used to take time and go through some of these issues that these young incarcerated men went through, and they were similar to Jordan Neely. So and my son, if he didn't have me, he would be on the streets, because none of my family can handle him and his mood swings. He thinks I'm poison, and me and my, but his peers, they used and abused him. His father ignored him. So it's just like, we need to work on our community. What they do, but we are the biggest and least directed toward our community. Now, I'm not just talking I belong to a church, New Light Anointed Ministries in Woodbridge, Virginia. However, Grace, my girlfriend told me about it. They're seeking mental health counselors. They're seeking people to help out in the community to be mentors, to promote, to, sometimes it takes one person. That whole family could try to get through to that Jordan Neely, but it takes one person, maybe like you, that gets through to them, that speaks life into them. So, I'm mad, I'm sad, but we go through this. We got to take the nation. Things to relate to them, because that's Department of Justice. They might put parents for it, but I'm really tired. I never do that. I never angry. But it's time for the Black community, especially these Black males, step up and be a mentor.
Step up and do the job. You said so many good master's degree from Bay Path University, Master of Science in clinical mental health counseling. I'm so proud of my baby girl, who keeps doing big things. Listen, in a couple minutes, we're going to hear from the preacher man himself, not the one that's on the mural, the other preacher man. Let me get Jamal in here, and then we're going to shift for a minute and then come back after we play that great song. Jamal Chambers. Jamal, you got the microphone.
Bishop, good morning, brother.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, sir. It's Untouchable J. I had to change my Twitter. Twitter is twittering.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I had to make some changes. But, I retired from corrections. The chokehold has not been something that has been, in my 20 years, it was never taught. So that's to address.
And you know what? The irony of this is the New York police using chokeholds.
They definitely have the worst level of intent to take somebody out. That's first. The fact that the media hid this man's identity, and that you and others in the new Black media had to come out and put his name out there, shows that this country is still all about race.
Sure.
White people pretend like they don't know. Why did you prevent this man's name from being out there? You gave him a weak head start to scrub his social media from anti-Black propaganda or whatever was on there, and then they act like, well, we don't know where he is. You know where he is. So it just shows that nothing's changed. And he was lynched. Brother Neely was lynched. I'll land my plane there, brother. God bless.
Right. Appreciate you. Absolutely. He was lynched. I don't care what none of y'all say. It was a lynching. Let's get the preacher man up in the building. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Bishop. This is the preacher man. I'm still yet alive.
How you doing this morning?
I'm well, man. Yourself?
Doing well. So we get ready to debut this project, this song from the brothers here in the field. I just want you to kind of give us a brief synopsis of how this came about.
Well, City Councilor LeVar Flick came to me and Deacon George Lovejoy, and he talked about doing a song called You Will Know. He said, can we get a few brothers in the city to do that? And I said, yeah, we can do that, but I would like to write our own version of it instead of singing their version. And from there, we reached out to a bunch of the men from the city of Springfield, surrounding areas. We opened it up, and we came together. We sung together, and in the song, as you will hear, we talked about a lot of topics that is very important to what's going on in and around this country. You're talking about a great topic right now. We kind of added things like that into this project. And as you will hear, you got some great singers, some spoken words, some rap, all of that wrapped in one, and it's all from the brothers of the 413. We decided to come together and do this thing as one.
Absolutely. We getting ready to hear it, man. I just wanted you to get on and, you know, as one of the leaders of this project, to talk about what was happening here. Appreciate you so much, my brother. Y'all tell everybody we getting ready to debut the song. Thank you, preacher man.
Appreciate the Bishop.
All right, listen, on this project, writer, producer, lead vocal, Pastor Jesse Preacher Man Burgess, who you just heard from, music producer, musician, Elder Chris Bayman, on percussion, William Ty Guy Bayman, the lead guitar, Joshua Simmons, acoustic guitar, lead vocal, Kevin Sharp, on the bass, Wilkin Burks, on the drums, Kevon Brown, director and lead vocal, Pastor J.P. Lightskin Morgan. He and I tease each other about that. Mixed and mastered by the one and the only Doobie Powell. Lead vocal, Chauncey Bayman. Lead vocal, Pastor Bernard Smith. Lead vocal, Tom Bolden. Lead rap and spoken word pieces by Elder Two Buck Knight and Bishop Talbert Swan II, yours truly. Additional brothers who participated in this project was Pastor Thomas Robinson, Chris Robinson, Cordell Daniels, Pastor Nathan Daniels, Deacon George Lovejoy Sr., George Lovejoy, Brother Terrence Haynes, Keith Lockett, Minister James Odom, Willie Davis, Elder T.J. Haynes, William Burks, Tracy Hill, and Elder Will Naylor. Listen, this is Springfield's own. Y'all don't want to miss this. Tell a friend, tell them, pay attention. Pay attention. It's about to get live.
United we stand, divided we fall. Things work better together. Stand for one and for all. Even when we're hurting, things don't seem right. We can make a great difference if we stand up and fight.
Police brutality, we can't watch this for long. We gotta stand all across this world and show that we are real strong. Bonding together to make a great change, putting our trust in the one above to help us stay sane. Working for love is the thing that we'll do. You can lean on me, I'll lean on you, and we will get through.
United we stand, divided we fall. Things work better together. Stand for one and for all. Even when we're hurting, things don't seem right. We can make a great difference if we stand up and fight.
Stop the shooting and killing each other. Let's spread the love of Jesus and go to heaven together. Once and had a dream that things would be fair, not by the grain of our hair, color of our skin, but the love that's within. Here's the thing that we'll do. You can lean on me, I'll lean on you. We will get through.
United we stand,
of trouble. And I venture to say it's even worse for a black man trying to escape the hypocrisy in the US and lower statistics. Listen to people telling us you blessed, while dreams are getting shattered, daily gold dust. In the land of the free is subjective, not what they told us. Social injustice, inequality, and lack of compassion have turned every black man into Michael Jackson. This is it, they're making us want to scream. How they turn around and accuse us, we're their Billie Jean. But if we stand united, there's no way they can divide us. We must lift up our voice and stop expecting change in silence. Collaboration of a peculiar and holy nation. Instead of hate, we should use prayer as motivation. The clock is ticking, time is almost up. It's time to stand up and fight before we're always stuck. Fellas, got to stay. I know it may be hard. Things don't seem right all the time. We can't make the difference. We stand up. Stand up. You just stand. Oh, stand up for what's right. Stand up when the fight. Stand up for righteousness. There's a war being waged against our community, but we will prevail if we stand up in unity. Stand up for what is right. Stand up to win the fight. Stand up for holiness. My dear brothers, the enemy has worked overtime to divide us. Through this nation, he's tried castration, lynching, miseducation. We were taught to hate ourselves, to look at ourselves through tainted lenses. They put us in prisons, devalued our intelligence and moral worth. They considered us inferior, tried the poisons of self-hatred, distorted history and false standards of beauty. They told us we were ugly and stupid, slow, dim-witted, and worthless. But if we hold on to God, we'll realize that we're valuable. If we weren't so valuable and didn't have the potential to be so powerful, the world would not be so bent on exterminating our very existence. So I came to tell you that we may have struggles, there may be hardships, but day by day, one step at a time, we push to survive, we continue to work, we learn how to thrive. We have to ease our egos, preach to our pride. There is a way against these odds, and it's through our God. Our crowns are made of gold, our resilience like stone. We are kings worthy of abundance, the greatest warriors this world has known. It's not what they call us that makes us like pure gold. It's the gift we are that makes us special. We are fathers, uncles, brothers, cousins, sons, nephews, husbands, and friends. We are the reason our people will never accept defeat again. We keep our heads up high, although deep inside sometimes we want to cry as they try to keep us chained and bound, cutting off our feet, trying to keep us down. Yet we stand up for our women, for our children, our communities, and our friends. We stand tall as examples and as a legacy to other young men. No man, no woman can stand on your back unless we lay down on the ground. Our people need us to lift up our voices together and make a certain sound. The sound of peace, justice, unity, and love. A sound echoed with passion and empowered from our Creator above. The sound of iron sharpening iron. Men protecting, fathers directing, brothers respecting, and all of us expecting our children to rise, our wives to smile, our families to thrive, our neighborhoods to be safer, our situations to get better, because we are brothers together, holding each other up, supporting each other, loving each other, defending one another, and staying connected to a God that has anointed us, appointed us, lifted us, gifted us, empowered us, inspired us, saved us, raised us, and made us to be men of integrity, men of character, men full of the Spirit. We've got dreams in our hearts, visions in our minds, a charge to keep, a God to glorify, a sermon to preach, a song to sing, a way to walk, a trumpet to blow, a life to live, a family to raise, a world to change, because we're the head and not the tail. We're above and not beneath. We We are directed, protected, selected, born to win, chosen to conquer. Come here, MC Hammer, we're too legit to quit. Come here, Rakim, we ain't no joke. Come here, LL, oh, we're bad, because united we stand.
That's the Brothers United right here from the 413. I told y'all it was going to be fire, okay? My. You're going to hear a whole lot more coming from that. I'm sure you're going to be hearing it played on various programs as we spread that message and that song around. But that is the talent that we have right here in the 4, 1, and the 3. All right. Yes, it's going to be on iTunes soon. It'll be on all of your streaming platforms, all of that stuff. So you'll be able to grab it. You'll be able to stream it. You'll be able to play it and make it do exactly what it do. Matter of fact, you know what? That sounds so good. I think I'm going to go on out on that. James Lewis is in the studio. He's coming up next with Mid-Morning Jazz, great black music, all of that stuff. Listen, check me out on Friday on the Black Love Experience. If you're looking for a place to worship, check us out at the Spring of Hope Church of God in Christ, 35 Alden Street, Springfield, Massachusetts, the Brick Church at 6 Corners, 11 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. Listen, until the next time I talk to you and you talk to me, always remember, God loves you, and so do I. Deuces, I'm out.
United we stand, divided we fall. Things work better together. Stand for one and for all. Even when we're hurting, things don't seem right. We can make a great difference if we stand up and fight. Police brutality, we can't watch this for long. We gotta stand all across this world and show that we are real strong.
Bonding together to make a great change, putting our trust in the one above to help us stay sane. Anything that we'll do, you can lean on me, I'll lean on you, and we will get through.
United we stand, divided we fall. Things work better together. Stand for one and for all. Even when we're hurting, things don't seem right. We can make a great difference if we stand up and fight.
Stop the shooting and killing each other. Let's spread the love of Jesus and go to heaven together. Once in had a dream that things would be fair, not by the grain of our hair, color of our skin, but the love that's within. Here's the thing that we'll do. You can lean on me, I'll lean on you. We will get through.
United we stand, divided we fall. Things work better together. Stand for one and for all. Even when we're hurting, things don't seem right. We can make
The Bible says man's days are few and full of trouble, and I venture to say it's even worse for a black man trying to escape the hypocrisy in the U.S. And though we're statistics, listen to people telling us you blessed, while dreams are getting shattered, daily gold dust in the land of the free is subjective, not what they told us. Social injustice, inequality, and lack of compassion have turned every black man into Michael Jackson. This is it, they're making us want to scream. How they turn around and accuse us, we're their Billie Jean. But if we stand united, there's no way they can divide us. We must lift up our voice and stop expecting change in silence. Collaboration of a peculiar and holy nation. Instead of hate, we should use prayer as motivation. The clock is ticking, time is almost up. It's time to stand up and fight before we're always stuck. Fellas, got to stay. I know it may be hard. Things don't seem right all the time. We can't make you just stand up. You just stand. Oh, stand up for what's right. Stand up win the fight. Stand up for righteousness. There's a war being waged against our community, but we will prevail if we stand up in unity. Stand up for what is right. Stand up to win the fight. Stand up for holiness. My dear brothers, the enemy has worked overtime to divide us. Through this nation, he's tried castration, lynching, miseducation. We were taught to hate ourselves, to look at ourselves through tainted lenses. They put us in prisons, devalued our intelligence and moral worth. They considered us inferior, tried the poisons of self-hatred, distorted history and false standards of beauty. They told us we were ugly and stupid, slow, dim-witted, and worthless. But if we hold on to God, we'll realize that we're valuable. If we weren't so valuable and didn't have the potential to be so powerful, the world would not be so bent on exterminating our very existence. So I came to tell you that we may have struggles, there may be hardships, but day by day, one step at a time, we push to survive, we continue to work, we learn how to thrive. We have to ease our egos, preach to our pride. There is a way against these odds, and it's through our God. Our crowns are made of gold, our resilience like stone. We are kings worthy of abundance, the greatest warriors this world has known. It's not what they call us that makes us like pure gold. It's the gift we are that makes us special. We are fathers, uncles, brothers, cousins, sons, nephews, husbands, and friends. We are the reason our people will never accept defeat again. We keep our heads up high, although deep inside sometimes we want to cry as they try to keep us chained and bound, cutting off our feet trying to keep us down. Yet we stand up for our women, for our children, our communities, and our friends. We stand tall as examples and as a legacy to other young men. No man, no woman can stand on your back unless we lay down on the ground. Our people need us to lift up our voices together and make a certain sound. The sound of peace, justice, unity, and love. A sound echoed with passion and empowered from our Creator above. The sound of iron sharpening iron. Men protecting, fathers directing, brothers respecting, and all of us expecting our children to rise, our wives to smile, our families to thrive, our neighborhoods to be safer, our situations to get better, because we are brothers together, holding each other up, supporting each other, loving each other, defending one another, and staying connected to a God that has anointed us, appointed us, lifted us, gifted us, empowered us, inspired us, saved us, raised us, and made us to be men of integrity, men of character, men full of the Spirit. We've got dreams in our hearts, visions in our minds, a charge to keep, a God to glorify, a sermon to preach, a song to sing, a way to walk, a trumpet to blow, a life to live, a family to raise, a world to change, because we're the head and not the tail. We're above and not beneath. We are directed, protected, selected, born to win, chosen to conquer. Come here, MC Hammer, we're too legit to quit. Come here, Rakim, we ain't no joke. Come here, LL, oh, we're bad, because united we stand.